problem. There's a problem. Oh, no. That's the problem.
Look, bro. It's a 3-ton limit.
3-ton limit.
Who cares, bro?
Nah, bro, you're too big.
Eldar, leave, bro. Just leave.
No,
Just leave. Actually, you can't. Never come back.
2,000 years later.
What is happening?
It's the grumpy old troll!
I'm the grumpy old troll who lives under the bridge. Hey, I'm the grumpy old troll who lives under the bridge.
I wanted to pass this bridge for 37 years, but I couldn't. Because I'm 3 pounds. But Miss Denser told me I could. Miss Denser told me if you solve that math problem.
Which math problem?
Number 5. Then we're allowed to cross this bridge.
Let's do it. Get in.
Okay, so for this question, for A, it says, for what values of x does f have a relative maximum? And to find a maximum on the f prime number line is that when the y is positive and going to negative, it means it's a maximum. So at the only time where the positive goes into a negative is at -2, which means it has to be -2 and x has to be -2. And the explanation for it is that the line goes from positive to negative at -2, which means it's maximum. So it goes from positive to negative.
Question C asks, on what interval is the graph concave up? The graph is concave up from the points -1 to 1 and from 3 to 5, simply because that is when the slope of the graph is increasing.
Right there.
B. For what values of x does f have a relative minimum? I would say x has to be 4 because it goes from under the x-axis, right here, to above the x-axis, right at 4.
Alright.
It's the
So-
final thing you have to do to get me over the bridge, bro.
Letter D.
Let's get it.
Suppose that f of 1 equals 0. In the xy plane, draw a sketch that shows the general shape of the graph of the function f on the open interval x is greater than 0 and x is less than 2.
Okay.
So, from letter C, we know that the graph is concave up from -1 to 1. Now, we only need it from 0 to 1 for now. So we know that f of 1 equals 0. So we're going to mark the 0 right there.
Okay.
All right? Now, when seeing if it's like above the x-axis or not, we see the function's increasing over here on the graph f prime of x. So
What does that mean for this one?
that means since this is increasing from 0 to 1 on the graph of f prime of x, and it's concave up in the interval -1 to 1, we know that it will look like this.
What would happen if it's decreasing, Mr. Adam?
Oh, so now you see it's decreasing from 1 to 2, and it's not concave up because Amit said that it's concave up from -1 to 1, or from 3 to 5. So it's gonna be concave down, and it's decreasing. So then
So
the
we can
graph,
pass a bridge?
yeah, the graph from the graph of f of x, the graph of f of x is gonna look like that in the interval x is greater than 0 and x is greater than 2, less than 2. You took my food!
Eldar, we finally got the right answer. Now you can let us cross the bridge.
So we can cross the bridge now?
Yeah!
Let's go!
Finally crossed the bridge!
Hey! It's on limit!
Yeah!